What's going on, everybody? My name is Tommy and I'm with this guy.
How's it going? I'm Ricky.
Ricky over here flies crazy HD stuff and like goes to the moon at like light speed.
Connex is the only way to race for me.
I haven't been messing with the Connex stuff. I had a little bit of exposure to it a little bit ago, but I come more from like the freestyle background. At the time, at least, it wasn't working out, but I think you got a couple of insights that the people out there want to know about Connex, so we'll get into that in a little bit. But the reason why we're here today, and the reason why I brought this guy here today, is because we're going to review this. Fatshark's new Base HD goggles. I don't know anything about them, and there's a reason for that, is because I want to get raw reactions. I don't want to know that this has like the latest like F10 chip, and that's why it's better, because then you might get the whole placebo effect, right? So I just want to get the raw. I just want raw. I just want to know what's going on with these. So we're going to check this out. We're going to talk about this today, and we're at a good shop today because we are at Pyrodrome. You know what? Give this. Yeah, we're at this guy's shop, Burbank, California, at PiroFlipRC. Thank you, Serge, for letting us use the studio spot. So for those of you who are not familiar with Connex, this is what you have to haul around with you. I personally don't like it, but in talking to these guys going to races, apparently there's a lot of benefits to it.
Or this.
There you go. That's a good thing to show. See, that makes things way more manageable. And if you can get it to be powered up through your radio,
you can steal power from the radio.
I brought you on here because you fly HD and I don't, so my opinion is gonna suck compared to this guy. And that's why you're also here, because you've seen Connex before at the races, and that's something I want to know about. So
normally I fly with the Vuzix. They're really heavy. These are super light. I mean, if we put it on the scale, this would probably be a fifth of the weight. So it's like being Terminator or just flying regular FPV. I personally like the eye cups.
And the most important, you don't look retarded when you wear them.
let's plug them in and let's find out what they look like.
It's pretty amazing, man.
Yeah?
Look at that quality.
Wow. Dang it. Now I'm gonna have to build one.
Can we just switch to the Vuzix without
Yeah.
turning it off? This one has a wider field of view.
So it's got a bigger screen, basically.
This one is much bigger screen, yes. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Would you say that the Fatshark, the field of view on that is closer to what you're used to then?
Yeah, on the other one, it felt like, I don't know, like 35 degrees, something like that. You know, I like the field of view on this one more. Quality is the same, but the field of view is like to what we are used more.
I really like the quality of the color of the lenses. The lenses seems really good.
Smaller, you know, like the resolution is, you know.
Yeah, so you don't see as many of the pixels.
Yeah. Exactly.
You're not looking around, like with the Vuzix, I tend to look all around the whole entire screen. With this, you're more focused.
Yeah.
You know, like you have to look around when you're flying, like to the corners and stuff. With the Fatshark, everything is right there.
Right.
These are nice though, they're really lightweight. You don't feel it on your head at all.
Well, let's go out to the field and find out what's up. Just to recap for everybody, he's used to flying the Vuzix, right?
Yeah, the Vuzix I wear.
Right, so just the biggest thing, besides the fact that it's a lot bigger, is that the field of view is like huge. My comparison is it's like watching a movie on the Fatshark goggles, and then you go to the Vuzix and it's like stepping into IMAX. Right off the bat, the first thing that I'm gonna wanna know is just like, how does it feel to go to something smaller?
Well, just by putting on the goggles, the colors of the trees and everything looks amazing.
Okay.
So the resolution's great.
All right.
The difference between this and the Vuzix, it seems like, since it is more detailed, you can kind of go through with more confidence.
For freestyle, one of the big things that I'm always afraid of is scraggle, right? Not being able to see that crazy ghost branch. Do you feel like with the smaller field of view, but with more resolution, that is, you know, how do you feel about that?
Well, let's take a look at this scraggle here.
Oh, you're definitely playing with scraggle right now. I can't even see it from here. I just know that that's a bad situation over there.
I can almost see gaps that I'd want to hit because it's so clear. You can see every single scraggle branch, no problem.
Okay. How does it feel going fast when the field of view that small?
I think it's fine. High speeds is no problem. I feel confident.
On the Vuzix, you've got a wide field of view with an OSD. Do you feel like you're straining to look at that, the telemetry?
Since you bring that up, you're right. When I wear the Vuzix, I don't pay attention to it as much. I just notice the red flash. But with this, since the screen is smaller, I'm able to see all of my information that I need, which is actually making it easier.
I'm gonna go ahead and give this a shot. This is like flying with like a GoPro for sure. Normally when you're this high up and you're looking at the ground with analog, it just looks all like the same. You don't see.
Now, and we're standing behind some trees and we're flying to the left a little bit with some blockage. How's your video? No issues?
Oh, no issue. This is crystal clear.
And we're also flying it in the 60 frames mode, so this isn't even as good of quality as those goggles can put out yet.
Oh, this isn't the...
Yeah, this is the high performance mode, 60 frames per second.
This is a lot better than what I remember it.
Yeah, there's been some updates, and it is looking better. It's not the HP Plus lens, but it's still HP and it's still good.
Can I do another one where we go into the high quality mode?
Yeah, we'll go back to back.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and come back now. I actually thought it was high quality mode, but this is...
And that could be a benefit of having the smaller lenses, since it is using more dense information.
Yeah.
Having the smaller lenses, it doesn't have to be in that crazy mode to have the high quality.
Wow, I thought that was high quality mode, so now I'm really curious as to what this is gonna look like. One thing to point out, being in this direct sun now, is there is a little bit of light leakage from the eye cups, yeah. So I feel like right around this area needs to be sealed up a little bit. That'll be some interesting feedback to send back to Fatshark. All right, going up.
So you notice any difference?
Not that much. I do notice that perceived lag where it feels like it's a little bit slower maybe. But the quality feels not that much better. So it's just me, I don't know.
They were working on that, but maybe those goggles are just happy with the high performance mode. I too don't really notice a big difference when going in from HP to HQ. But back in the few updates ago, it was more noticeable, so maybe it's not that big of an issue anymore.
Yeah, I definitely remember this being like a major difference, which means they did a good job with that high performance mode.
Well, now you want to try the V6 since you've gotten a nice flight?
Oh yeah, let's do that so that I've got a nice like AB here. This right here, I don't want to have to haul this monstrosity right here. I feel like I could like start benching and curling this right here.
This is the HP mode. This is the one that you flew your first battery with the Fatsharks on.
Okay, so the higher frame rate.
Yeah.
Oh, see here I see a difference.
In the high performance mode?
Yeah. So here I definitely see lower quality, I see pixelation. Okay, so this is what I remember. I feel like I'm flying analog right now, just with no breakup.
And before, when you were using the Fatsharks, it felt like you were watching GoPro video in this mode.
Exactly. That, I think, alone is definitely worth it. Now the question becomes, do you like the better quality but smaller field of view? Because I feel like if I was trying to hit a gate, it'll be easier in these goggles, I'm guessing, and maybe just a little bit harder in the Fatsharks, but that could also just be something you just gotta get used to.
Yeah, a couple batteries, I think you won't even notice the difference.
Alright guys, so we are back from testing this out. You know, going to this, it's like watching your flight footage through a GoPro, except you're actually flying, so it's actually pretty legit. From like, say, a freestyle perspective, I'd say that's pretty important because, you know, scraggle, right?
Yeah.
That's like the #1 enemy, I'd say, when you're freestyling. You know, seeing is basically like the equivalent of how confident you are with your flying, so if you can see well, you could fly well. Going between the different modes, I didn't really notice that big of a difference. And that was the part that really surprised me, because on the Vuzix, you can tell when you're in HP mode and you can tell when you're in HT mode. But on the Fatsharks, it was almost as if they were pretty much the same. You said that you like the bigger field of view on the Vuzix.
Yeah, I like the bigger field of view. I feel like everything just looks bigger. For racing, I think that makes it easier, being able to see everything a little bit bigger.
So I think it might come down to like if you're nearsighted or maybe farsighted. Like nearsighted, you probably like the Vuzix because it's up close. If you're like farsighted, you might prefer the Fatsharks, and on top of that, you'll get the better quality.
Yeah, I agree.
From like a mobility standpoint, I'm definitely have to go with the Fatshark just because I just can't deal with this. This is just too much to haul around. I feel like I need my own like backpack.
I'm still gonna go with these, but these are a great option.
I want to call Serge. Y'all, if y'all don't know, we're in Serge's shop. I want you to go ahead and ask him about what it is that he felt.
Let me ask you this question. I'm building my first HD frame. Where do I go?
It depends
Do
on
I
what.
wait for these,
Have you
or these
ever?
are available?
Did you ever have goggles before?
V3.
Then you're probably gonna want these. But if you've been flying with like head plays or those type of style goggles, this is going to be a lot easier transition for you. For me, I'm not a very big fan of the rectangular image. I kind of like the bigger image on the
Well, this
older
is
style.
16:9, no?
Yeah.
And my V3s are 16:9, so it's not going to be hard transition for me.
Yeah, not for you.
So this is what we're gonna do. Tommy is gonna leave now, and he's gonna leave this here. Otherwise, we're gonna take care of it our way.
Yeah, we can take them out back.
This felt really, really good. Coming from the analog, coming from the V3s. I can immediately put this on and fly. I'm definitely going with this.
I think at the end of the day, it's what you're used to.
You could even use those with a Phantom too, though.
Yeah, that's the other thing. So for all the Phantom users out there that want to get that immersive feel and get that high quality.
That's a whole nother market for it.
Yeah,
Right.
it'll fit right in the box with everything else.
There you have it. Thanks to Serge. Check out his shop, pyro-drone.com.
You'll get to the same place.
And then you can also check out Ricky. How can people find you?
My YouTube channel isn't that great, but it's 805 FPV.
But his
FPV.
flying is, so don't worry about that.
And then Instagram is Aerial Advantage Photo. That has a lot more traffic, and I usually post on there more often.
Peace out, guys. Hold on, put those on. Dang.
It's like a magnifying glass for your face.